Oh, my headphones just like did something strange. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, weird.
Sam,
You guys are
I'm
so
going to make
clear
a
now.
suggestion. I think you might need different headphones.
I like just got
Yeah.
these two. These were like so nice. Or I should say, I don't know, Wirecutter recommended them, so they should have been fine.
Okay, I have
Oh.
another hot new take ready
I know
for this one.
Wirecutter's over. I know. But go ahead. I didn't mean to.
It's actually not even that.
Oh.
My take is I respect Wirecutter's expertise, but I think they have horrendous, offensive taste. Everything they
Yeah.
recommend is hideous.
Yeah.
So
where's the
you don't like
aesthetic?
them on aesthetic grounds.
No. I'm like, they're recommending the ugliest shit.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm like,
that's true.
because what it comes down to, it's really just some guys. You know what I mean? It's just some guys saying like, you should get these headphones. They're the best. You're gonna look like a fucking idiot wearing them.
Yeah.
You don't, Sam.
Thank you.
But most people do. Like
Carve
most of the things
out.
they recommend are hideous to look at. They have terrible aesthetic taste, and for that, I cannot abide by it. I have given up. I have shifted my allegiance to Consumer Reports.
Oh,
Wow, going
no
old
way.
school. Don't you have to pay
They
for
review-
that though?
You sure do. You have to pay for fucking Wirecutter now because it's part of the time.
I mean,
It's in the
Oh.
bundle.
Yeah.
It's in the bundle.
Oh right, no,
And I ain't paying for that.
I definitely pay.
No, I do Consumer Reports. They review more things.
Yeah.
So you have more options. Look at more categories of things, but also the higher volume of things. So like Wirecutter is like, we tested 20 headphones. Consumer Reports is, we tested every headphone, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know it's thorough.
Yeah. They
And I
went
trust
they
them.
went back to the original headphone and worked their way from there.
No, literally. They went back to like string in toilet paper roll.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
They go back to the OG, and
Yeah.
they
They were, like,
individually
cheap.
rate.
Uh-huh.
They individually rate every single product, so you can like, okay,
Oh.
I don't want to get the highest rated one because I think it's ugly. Oh, but there's other
Yeah.
highly scored ones that I could get. Anyway, I gotta say this might be my cultural wreck.
Mm.
Subscribe
Consumer
to
Consumer
Reports.
reports.
You heard it
Wow.
here
I
first.
mean, listen, this is like a very legitimate sounding recommendation to me.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I'm ready to litigate it. I'm ready. The Wirecutter hegemony must be torn
Abolished.
down.
Yeah.
We all bought that terrible, annoying to use, and difficult to clean humidifier.
I
we
did
all
not.
know the one.
I did not. I never did.
Jack
I know what
bought
you're
it.
talking
He knows
about.
exactly
I never
what I'm
did.
talking
I'm like,
about.
I'm
Jack
looking for
looking
it
at
in
it
this
in the
drawer.
corner
right
of his
now.
room.
And
Because it's here somewhere.
and it's a
Oh, no,
fucking
there it is.
nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare to deal with, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I used it like, I don't know, once.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
One and done. That's what I
Yeah.
hear.
Well, because, I mean, it's like, they made so much money off of, like, when the sky was orange for one day here.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like,
I forgot about that.
you know,
Climate change.
and and it's never been orange again. I mean, it probably will be at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sky's gonna be orange more. It's gonna snow more. We really won't
Yeah.
get any kind of temperate weather ever again.
No, absolutely
So,
not.
Yeah, so Consumer Reports will have to recommend us a proper humidifier to control our raging bloody noses from the lack of humidity we're getting.
Listen, it's no joke.
Yeah.
I have
It
some,
isn't.
there's a
It
humidifier in
isn't.
every room in my apartment right now.
Wow.
It gets so dry.
Yeah, it is quite dry.
Yeah.
That was like the one thing, like the one winter, if you will, quote unquote, I left before it snowed, but the one quote unquote winter I lived in New York, I like didn't have a really well working radiator, and the bed that I was staying in, the headboard was next to the window, so I would wake up and my nose, sorry, TMI, like my nostrils would be like caked in like dried blood, and I was like, what is happening here?
Ouch.
This is crazy. I'm 23. Like, turns out. I mean, yeah, that's how I used to think. I'm
Humidifier
23.
knows no age.
Yeah.
Humidity knows no age. It can
Did
affect
not.
anyone.
Does
I have
not.
currently moved my bed like into the middle
Ah,
of my bedroom to
smart.
get away from the windows.
Good.
Because my windows have terrible insulation.
Oh, yeah.
So like it's just blasting you with like
You're
1 degree
not doing the
error.
thing where you're like, you put the stuff
The
in.
tape. He put the tape
tape
in
or
the
whatever.
corners.
I've done that in the past. I've done all of these things.
He's tried it all.
I just feel like it's all admin.
Yes, it's
Too much.
I have so much tape everywhere in my apartment. There's like I've done the
The
plastic.
paint is being held together by Scotch tape, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But like
It's a regular.
but like
it's like
literally.
Office Depot in there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I mean, like I can literally
The
reach
floor
out. Here's some
manager
tape.
special.
Oh my god.
No lies.
Like I hadn't even noticed that I just had this roll of tape sitting here.
For people who are just listening, Jack literally pulled a roll of tape from
Yeah.
off screen.
Specifically
just
blue
sitting there.
painters. Blue
Yeah.
painters.
No, I have lots of different kinds of tape. Also, like I wouldn't call myself a hoarder, but I'm like, oh, I should like have like one of everything, basically.
You're a use case person. You're like, I'm gonna find a second use for this.
Well, I'm
That's
just
why you
like,
still have that humidifier.
yeah, I have a lot of crap in here.
This
Classic.
is interesting. I'm learning so much.
There you go. That's what the pod is for.
That's what it is for.
It's to learn about the world and also about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Discourse Pod, the podcast where we discuss the discourse, brought to you by Discourse Blog. Jack is here,
Hello.
and both on the keys and on cam, producer Sam is in the third
Yeah,
chair.
bitch.
Ooh.
Me
Wow.
and
What kind of
keys.
keyboard is that?
Oh.
Talk to us about your keyboard.
Ooh, another Wirecutter recommendation, though I will say this is my
Oh,
second
God damn
one.
it.
So I know.
Oh.
I gotta hide behind this. No, it's the wireless Logi K585 keyboard.
No.
Oh yeah, another Logi right there.
Got
yeah.
a Logi. I think, but I think I just like got this at Target.
It's got 2 Bluetooth connections, and
Oh, yeah, no,
also
this does- yeah.
I can like stick it in my backpack and take it with me. That's why I gotta stick. It's a long
Oh.
story, but I gotta stick it when I gotta work or shoot one, and some of the stuff only connects with like the dongles and not the Bluetooth, and that's like a nightmare.
Okay, the second you got the dongle,
I know.
you
Sorry.
lost me.
Trigger.
Yeah.
You lost me.
Trigger warning dongle.
You mean where you have
But-
to like stick the little thing in for it to be wireless? Yeah, no,
But
I'm not.
this
I
is
don't fuck
not.
with
This
that.
is not that. This is strictly Bluetooth.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Anyway.
Hi. Anyway,
We're
hi
learning
Sam.
more about ourselves. Hi. Hello.
Thanks for
Happy
being
to be
here.
here.
Well, I mean, you're here every week, but like, thank you for being on camera this week.
Yeah.
Oh no, thank you for having me on the camera this week.
Speaking of this week, love this segue for me. Man, it's been a rough one. Not in the words of Rob Thomas.
It's been a hard day's night, in the words of the Beatles, but for 7 nights, and then plus
Yeah.
that for another 7 nights.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys felt this, like you're picking up on a vibe. The middle of daylight murder of ICU nurse Alex Pretti in Minnesota has really like activated people in a way that I don't think we've seen in quite a while. It reminds me a little bit in part of what happened during 2020
Yeah.
in George Floyd, but obviously like these are kind of totally different and but not dissimilar sort of like different but connected energies and activations. I'm curious, Jack, how have you witnessed people reacting to what is a pretty upsetting and really chilling, basically snuff film,
Right.
spread wide for all to see?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through sort of similar periods before in terms of like opposition to ICE becoming like a significant political cultural issue, but not really since about like 2018 when like Kids in Cages was happening. But I think this is a more significant level of opposition than we had then. And I think that's for a bunch of reasons. One of them being that, not that like people do not have compassion for immigrants or undocumented people, and not that people like do not have anger about how they are treated. But what's happened in Minnesota is that like the fiction that there is some boundary between like what the government is doing to those people, and the reality that everybody is implicated in these kinds of abuses, that has crumbled away. And it's crumbled away not only because of the like incredibly overwhelming presence of like the federal troops, the like this invading, occupying army, and their sort of insane, like wild brutality, and like total sort of impunity. These really are like these stormtroopers, like just running riot everywhere, but also because now they are murdering people in broad daylight on video, like regular, ordinary people who are just showing up trying to like help each other. Um, and so I think it has been like a real wake up call to people, um, that not only like what starts with people somewhere like in the corner of your sort of consciousness, or people who are like, well, I do think if you're undocumented, you did do something wrong, or it's not happening to people I know, it's not happening in my community. Yep. This is like has taken over every aspect of life there. I mean, the thing that I keep thinking about is that there are like 3 times as many like federal agents in Minneapolis as there are local police. In like a New York City context, that would be like 90, 95, 100,000 like ICE troops roaming the streets of New York City.
Minneapolis is literally under occupation.
Yeah. And so I think this is not something where like you can pretend like it's happening somewhere else. It's happening like in everyone's front door, backyard. It's happening to everybody they know. It's so indiscriminate, and it's terrifying, and so obviously cruel and sadistic and violent. And so I think people are very freaked out and infuriated. And there's a level of just sort of rage towards ICE, Border Patrol, you know, all of those people that I think we haven't seen in the way that we're seeing it now. It feels somewhat unprecedented in terms of the depth of the political response. Obviously, as always happens, this is being driven on the ground by ordinary people. Politicians are far behind. Democrats are still like going on about we should do more trainings, and like maybe they shouldn't be allowed to go here, shouldn't be allowed to go there.
They need more oversight.
Yes, you know, and so I don't know how much like is going to happen in terms of doing concrete things from the political level that will curb ICE in some way. I don't know the sort of like mood music of like de-escalation that they're trying out from like the Trump administration is going to be real in any way. It doesn't seem very real at the moment, but like this is an issue where the sort of establishment consensus was, well, everybody hates immigrants. And the only way for anybody to have political legitimacy in this moment is to sign on to the most brutal, draconian anti-immigrant platform. You have like all these, you know, Democrats who had voted for these horrible anti-immigrant provisions, voted to send all of this extra money to DHS, you know, and it was like, well, we just have to do this. And like, lo and behold, it turns out not only did they not have to do it, but that the consequences of that are what we're seeing now. Obviously, this is a particularly heated moment, and like the temperature around some of this will dissipate, like once these troops do leave Minneapolis, which they will do at some point. But like, I'm not sure that it's going to be quite possible, certainly like on the Democratic side of things, for them to say, we need ICE, they just need to be a little better. Like, I think we might be in the middle of a real sort of shift around that issue. So, yeah, I think like um, what we're seeing, like in a nutshell, it's one of those things where I try to remind myself of this from time to time because it feels like everything about like the way that our world is run, certainly at the moment, is defined by cruelty, by greed, by violence, and by the idea that everything is a zero-sum game. That if you look out for each other, then you are going to lose. That the only way for you to succeed is for someone else's life to be worse. That it is stupid and naive to be in solidarity with one another. And like, I think obviously that is a part of humanity. And like, everybody has something like that in them to a certain extent. But like, look around. People don't want other people to suffer in this way. They don't actually like want this level of cruelty in their day-to-day lives. And they certainly do not want like armed Nazis roaming the streets and murdering whoever they want to. We'll see what happens. But my hope is that this is one of those things that continues to bring people together and to remind people that like we really are like all that we have and that we need each other and that like there is strength in being in solidarity with each other. There is strength in looking out for each other. There's strength in taking care of each other because that's the only way that any of these people are going to be defeated. Like they have a monopoly on violence and cruelty and cynicism and apathy. They are counting on people to hate each other and to say, this is all too much. I just have to stop caring. And it is only when people resist against that and push back against that and say, actually, we do have like some basic values that we need to stand by. You can't just like kill and torture and brutalize and mistreat people just because they're immigrants or because they are the allies of immigrants or, you know, anything. And like, you can't come after my neighbor without trying to come through me. Like, that is the only vision that will be able to counteract the kind of vision of like fascists like Trump and Stephen Miller and all of them. It's still a really bleak moment. And like none of like ICE's brutality has been meaningfully curbed. Like you have to find hope in these moments when you can. And I think the response of ordinary people has been unbelievably courageous and moving and does give me that kind of hope that there is real humanity and love that people have for each other. And if that can be harnessed in as effective and sustained and disciplined a way as possible, then, you know, something meaningful might change.
Well, okay, now for me to take the like kooky Gen Z tween corner of this conversation, which is that
Please. What have you been seeing? What have you been hearing?
one of you might be able to correct me, but like TikTok in the US now has like a American owner, is that correct?
Yes, it has been sold to one of the Ellisons.
Right. Okay. So with that, people are talking about this in such a way that's like not only are our feeds going to be changed because of this new ownership, but specifically in this way to censor information about ICE raids, censor the information that we're trying to put out to each other. I use TikTok in a very strange way, which is just like, I don't follow anybody I know there. These are just like, it's like Tumblr, but for my like elder millennial brain, in which I'm like, oh, this person is funny and they're not like famous or anything, but at the very least, like I can get some enjoyment out of it. But I'll go into like my following page, and despite there being this like censorship effort, like it doesn't matter if the person I'm following is like a Filipino content creator whose main thing is like uh funny things that Filipino Americans do, or like the actress who plays like the drug lord on oh, what is it called, that HBO show with Zendaya that got
Oh,
renewed. Do you know
Euphoria.
what I'm
Euphoria.
talking about? Euphoria. Or just like other smaller creators. Everyone's like content has primarily been about ICE, and about the ICE raids, and at least like trying to raise some awareness, or like talk about it in some tongue-in-cheek way that like tries to get their own audience invested. I've been pretty purposefully staying away from Instagram just because of the way that I feel about things. But I'm seeing like a lot of Bravo celebrities also like posting about ICE. There's this trend among them being like, this is why I almost left Bravo. Like they're creating slideshows, and then the rest of the slides are about like either like information about ICE raids in Los Angeles, or like know your rights information, things of that sort. So something that you mentioned earlier, Alex, was like, this is reminding you of a little of 2020. And that's kind of what it's been like for me, is that like the threshold that the invasion of Minnesota has, I don't know, like jumped. It has made like, I think, a significant difference in how like people that I would consider to be like apolitical of my personal life, or people that I've encountered in college, like these random folks are starting to post themselves. And I don't know if it's just that I'm like trying to feel less jaded about it, but I'm not feeling as cynical as I was, 6 years ago, where to me, I had a hard time not feeling cynical about their participation in trying to elevate the news and elevate the situation. I come from my, if you will, quote unquote, reporting background was for a straight like year and a half, 2 years, with strictly immigration right at the like beginning or end of the 2016 presidential campaign, like going into the first few years of the Trump administration. And I think seeing the way that like the abolish ICE movement was embraced, primarily by activists and people, I think, taking up the helm of activism online, to make this part of their identity, but also because it was already part of their identity, that's already looks so different to me than things were 10 years ago. Like, not only I think are people not calling themselves or claiming themselves to be activists, they like, I feel like they're doing this in their capacity just as, quote unquote, like everyday like lay people. There's like an element of it that's also less and I don't know if it's just the justification of needing to care about this because of identity politics or what it is, but to me it's like mattering less the like identity of the people involved, and more about like just the moral like disgust at what is happening, instead of making it because, oh, we should be embracing immigrants. Like I'm seeing like a lot less of that rhetoric, and again, I don't know if that's just because my own feeds are changed in such a way that that's not something that I prioritize. But it's that like the narratives have changed significantly in a way that like normal people are like doing more than just observing, they're participating, I feel, and B, in a way that like maybe somebody like that wouldn't feel comfortable a decade ago. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of where I've been observing things. Yeah, I have friends in Seattle and in San Antonio who are like, they're either involved in nonprofits or like have family friends in some way who are getting, who are like afraid of getting trapped by ICE. And so, speaking to what you were saying, Jack, like it is feeling a lot more like it's not just this theoretical of like, oh, like this is happening to people, but not people that I know. Like this is actively happening to people who I could feasibly know.
It's felt like this week anti-ICE sentiment is sort of mainstreamed It's like even the people you're used to being apolitical are talking
Yeah.
about it. It's reaching all corners of culture and life right now. Jack, I'm curious to hear from you. What did you see or hear that sort of it clicked for you as like, oh, this is maybe a little different from what we've seen before?
It's a couple things. Like first, the broadness of what we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing. I think it's pretty like indisputable that this has gone like much more widely. It's like things like politicians who months ago were like, well, like Democrats are the party of open borders, so like we have to be better than that. Suddenly being like, wait, I don't like ICE either. Like you can always tell like when like an issue is changing, like by how politicians are trying to like suddenly cravenly
Message through
jump
it.
on a bandwagon about it. And like I think just the depth of people's anger and the like breadth of people responding to it. It's like I think this is just it is just activated people in a totally different way. And I think also it hits so many different kinds of communities. Like
Yeah.
Alex Pretti was an ICU nurse at the VA hospital in um, Minneapolis. And there's a VA hospital near where my parents live in San Francisco, just like a few blocks up the road, basically. It is not like in the middle of downtown. Like it is not some super central location. It's like on the very sort of like northwest corner of the city. Um, and hundreds of people showed up to like stand outside the VA like for a vigil and a protest for Alex Pretti, like thousands of miles away. Obviously, San Francisco is like a liberal city, a politicized city, a city that knows how to protest. But like, I struggle to remember the last time like that I got
Yeah.
word that like the VA hospital was the site of like political activity. And in that sense, I think the analogy to 2020 is really apt because that is something that we saw in 2020, where you'd look at these like this tiny town in the middle of Idaho, like 50
Yeah.
people took to the streets, and like it was more people that had ever shown up in history. There are these moments where it is both impossible to look away um, and where something very fundamental is triggered within you, and where you feel like if I don't do something, then I won't be able to look at myself in the mirror. The other thing that this reminds me of in some ways, not every way, but some ways, is Gaza. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like something where just like immigration, you're talking about decades of propaganda against Palestinians, not only like that they're evil and savages, but also that like this is an incredibly complicated issue that like only experts can understand, and like people who are just saying free Palestine or abolish ICE like they don't get the nuances of these things. But when something like a genocide happens, and when people see that happening in front of them day after day after day, when people see that level of brutality and cruelty and violence, um, people respond. People go, I don't want to live in a world where children are getting massacred. I don't want to live in a world where like stormtroopers can roam the streets and just blow people away and bust down people's doors and drag people out of their cars screaming for no reason. Like people are activated on a very basic moral human level because they're looking and they're like, that is clearly like evil behavior and I want no part of it. We unfortunately like are having too many of those moments these days.
Seriously.
Um, you know, but I think it's all part of the same sort of continuum. And then the last thing I would say is if you look at like the sort of arc that this has gone in. Now, like, Trump is historically unpopular. Like, his numbers are tanking with every single demographic, including like people who carried him to victory long ago. Like the midterms, he's probably gonna like not do so well, blah, 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 blah. There's a real like political backlash to him. It is very similar to what we saw the first time around with Trump.
Yep.
And we keep going through this cycle. People are like looking around for something, anything to like get them out of like the misery that is like life in the 21st century. And like Trump is able to capture their like despair and is able to tap into the worst parts of people like nobody else has like in American history really, and is able to like gain power off of that. But then like people don't actually like what they see, and they don't actually want to live in the world that Trump turns out to have been promising them. You know, obviously there are a lot of people who still do. And
Yes.
like there's a lot of terrible people out there. But I think also there is this level at which so much of the instability and like the zigzagging between different kinds of politics that we're seeing is just people searching for something to latch onto and something that like can help them get out of like the hole that like living in this society has dug everybody into. That's why it's so important that the alternative to Trumpism is like real and is actually able to answer that despair or that searching around in a way that actually brings people along with them. And like part of the reason that we keep getting in this situation is because the official opposition to Trumpism has been so weak, vacillating, and so much more concerned with protecting itself than with protecting ordinary people that people continually get driven back over to Trumpism. And the more we repeat the cycle, the worse it will get each time we go back into this kind of fascism. And so, like, people have to get it together
Big time.
because I don't think we're in this situation where, oh my God, we're just like an irredeemable society. Like, people are capable of being pulled out of this. They're capable of seeing all of the awfulness and the madness of what we're witnessing and being moved against that. And so, like, it is the job of like the political opposition to this to actually do something about that in a serious way, not like the bullshit way that we're so used to.
And slightly less despairing news. Well, still kind of despairing, but funny? Question mark? It's been another banner week for our girl Bari Weiss, fellow Substacker Bari Weiss. Well, I guess she's not anymore. And her CBS News, which announced this week a whole host of changes, a vibe shift, so to speak. She held a heavily reported on town hall where she unveiled her new vision for CBS News, which include all kinds of news, kinds of scoops. What's her big one? I put it in Slack.
Scoops of ideas, I think.
Scoops of ideas. You know what I mean?
Not to misquote her, but
yeah, you know, it's like you're going to Baskin Robbins, like like a scoop of ideas, like a scoop of chocolate, and vanilla bean. You know what I mean?
maybe a little mix-in.
She also announced a whole host of new contributors to CBS News, many of whom I am not super familiar with. Some names stand out. Andrew Huberman, your most annoying straight male friend's body maxing expert, biohacking expert.
Oh, okay.
Let's see who else is on here. Did you recognize any of these names other than Derek Thompson, who apparently?
Yes, I recognized some of these names. Arthur Brooks, who was at the American Enterprise Institute and is like,
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, was seen as like, oh, a thoughtful conservative intellectual. I mean, obviously just a piece of shit. Who else? Oh, Niall Ferguson, like the awful historian who people think is smart because he's British. But who I think is connected to Bari Weiss's Austin University.
Amazing.
Coleman Hughes, who's like a knockoff Thomas Chatterton Williams, is like the best
Okay.
way that I would describe him.
What happened to him, by the way?
He's
Where's he working these days?
I think he's still at the Atlantic, I want to say.
What's he up to?
You know, he's writing some dumb
Yeah.
book. H.R. McMaster, like the former like national
Oh, yeah.
security advisor,
Advisor. Yeah, I missed him.
to Donald Trump. There's like a doctor. Oh yeah, Mark
I have to assume
Hyman.
is some crank.
I don't know if he's like anti-vax per se, though he probably is.
Well, I know Andrew Huberman believes in animal phrenology.
Yeah.
So
Oh yes, he is anti-vax. A former advisor to RFK Jr.
There you go.
That's Barry's like new medical guy. Like, what are these people gonna do? Unclear. Like Barry in that town hall, the transcript of which was leaked, I think, about 3 minutes after she stopped
Instantly.
speaking.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I really hope like you'll use them more." And at the same time, she announced that there's going to be significant layoffs
Cuts.
at
Yeah.
CBS News. So they're
And they offered buyouts last I checked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they did. So like you can see the play here pretty clearly.
Yeah.
It's like gut the reporting staff, bring on
Yeah.
like all of these like dumbass like right wing cranks to be
Yeah.
contributors and commentators.
Influencers. Yeah.
You know, she's talking about like, oh, we have to like really be about streaming, which like sure, fine, but like create whatever like weird like right wing talk shows she wants to do like on a streaming service and have a ball. Like
Let's do the fucking news.
and let's do the fucking news. And you know, and really be into scoops of ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I like
Scoops of moments.
Meanwhile, this week on the CBS TV News, Tony Dokoupil interviewed his own mother
sure did.
for a story about how a study that found grandparents who care for their grandchildren score better on tests of memory and language and decline more slowly than those who do not. Interviewed his mom for that one.
Because
So,
his mom watches his kids, presumably. What is
sounds
that
like
about?
it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
This is a level of rigor we can expect now.
Yes,
in
yes.
TV. Although I did not really hold it to much of a standard beforehand, so I guess it really is living down to expectation.
I mean,
I also
maybe his mom's getting into the streaming game. Maybe she's like a low key, indie influencer. Grandma
maybe.
talk.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I also saw today a huge CBS News scoop. This was definitely a scoop of ideas. A CBS reporter discovering the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's breakfast secret. And his big breakfast secret is that his breakfast every day is a Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
Oh. So maybe
like this-
maybe not 2 scoops of ideas, maybe 1 scoop of
Yes,
idea.
one.
Maybe like half a scoop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's
That's
like
like the
it's a
kind of
scoop of it's a
interview-
scoop of an idea, except that the only thing being scooped out is someone's brain.
Yeah. A scoop of an idea with a Dr. Pepper floater.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
interview where you it's the local news and you're like, oh, the oldest woman in this city is turning 102 today. How'd you do it, Lois? And she's like, I have a cigarette every day. Like that is
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the interview.
No.
Yes.
Literally.
What is the
Yeah.
point? Okay.
Yes. Except it's
Yeah.
with one of the most powerful people
Yeah.
in the world.
World.
Great.
Yeah.
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 As with everything that Bari Weiss has done, obviously it is objectionable, like on its face.
Yes.
But like on a even deeper level, it's just like, who is this for?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay.
Like she is not doing something that anyone wants. That's kind of baked into the proposition to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
like, boy, is this stuff like rank?
Loser behavior.
Yeah.
And even if you sort of play along with this idea that it's all in like capitulation to Trump and sort of pledging fealty, even if you're trying to like even doing that, it's sort of like the least successful, worst version of that idea.
Yes.
Like even if she's trying, if that's all that
Exactly.
is, she's not even doing that very well.
Right. And like,
and to what end?
and
Like
like,
what is she getting out of it?
this just occurred to me, so I'm floating a wild theory
we
right
go.
now. I
Love
don't
it.
think it's that wild. Like one thing that people have said about Bari Weiss for a long time, is that like she is a certain kind of like old person's idea of like
Of
What
her.
a smart person.
of what like a cool young person is.
Right.
Yeah.
She's
You
so
know, and
smart.
she's really like able to like extract like money and connections from like these much older people who are like, wow, you're so incredible, and like you're the next generation.
She did hoodwink fucking Larry Ellison
That's
or David. Larry or David.
Well, I mean,
Both.
David, who's around her age, but but the real person is Larry, who's like
Larry, who has all the money,
who's like 80
to
million years old.
Who paid, an ungodly sum for her
Yes.
Substack, which again, I will repeat, why not us? We would take
Yes.
much less of a buyout.
Yes, Larry Ellison, you
Um,
have our number.
Please.
Not that we've given it to you, but I'm sure you have it anyway because of your connections.
We should post on his TikTok now.
Oh, that's
you know
a,
what I
yes,
mean?
that's a
On
great
his version.
idea.
We should put a message out to him like, easily sold. We'll betray all of our values
Right.
and morals.
Well,
But
the
but
payday.
but it's like she like really likes this image. She's like, we're a startup. Let's do the fucking news. Like, we're gonna like take no prisoners. We're like rebels. And then she's like, oh, and my answer to this is let's get the dopiest idiot to do the evening news and like interview his
Yeah.
own mother. And let me bring on like some of the most like boring like institutional people you will ever see. Like these are not
Yeah.
like dangerous rebel voices like in any
No.
direction. They're just uninteresting conservatives.
Yeah.
Just like Bari Weiss. You know,
Yeah.
and so like the gap between her sort of like run and gun like rhetoric, like,
Mhm.
oh, you know, I'm here to shake up CBS News, and like these like old fogies like don't know what's coming to them. But like her response is like, what about the old fogies that I like?
Yeah.
Instead, or like the other people who are her age, who like just happen to say like, why can't things be the way that they were in like 1962?
Mhm.
Like the incoherence behind like that vision, I think, is like might be the thing that does her in the most. That and the fact that she's an idiot in terms of running a news network, has no experience, has bad
talk about
judgment,
failing up.
like has no news instinct, lies all the time, doesn't know actually anything about reporting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Has never been an actual reporter. I
No.
don't
No.
think.
I
No.
mean,
So
yeah, like one of my favorite all-time Bari Weiss moments was, do you remember when New York Magazine, like they were like, we asked a bunch of media people like what they think is going to happen. They did this like big package.
yeah, probably.
You know,
What did she say?
and this won't be a direct quote, but she was like, it used to be that like if some young kid was coming up, we'd say like, go
Yeah.
work for the local newspaper
And work your way up.
and work your way up. But like that doesn't happen. And I'm like, first of all,
You didn't do that.
like that was so before your time when that happened.
Yeah.
And secondly, you didn't do that at all. Like she was never a reporter. She like went straight to like the Wall Street Journal. You know,
Yeah,
like
where she was like Brett Stevens lackey.
yeah, you know, but like even there, it's like she wants to project this image of like, well, as a grizzled veteran, and it's like you've been here for 3 seconds and you've done nothing. Nothing.
This might be my moment to finally come out and say something that I felt for a long time, maybe my entire journalism career, even when Jack and I worked for a television network, technically.
That's right.
I have decided and landed on that broadcast journalism is not real journalism, and it's ultimately harmful to democracy and human beings.
Ayo.
I think that is a perfectly reasonable take.
Like
Yeah,
the the sort of
Yeah.
the conceit of TV journalism is in direct contradiction of what journalism should do.
Yeah.
Some of the dumbest people, the dumbest journalists who get to call themselves journalists, and I think a big reason why journalists get a bad name is because of TV journalists. And if you're a TV journalist and listening in or watching this, I don't mean you. I mean everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You are great. We love
You
you.
are the
Yeah.
exception.
Yeah,
to the rule.
especially if you're a subscriber.
Yes.
Then it doesn't. Then we don't
Yes.
mean
You're one of the
Yeah.
people trying to change the system from within.
it. Inside out. Yeah, you're
And-
trying to
and
get
keep
good
doing it.
tape.
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Doing it.
But no, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It prizes like the vacuous, the idiotic, like the spray tanned over like
Yeah.
anything
The
of
man on
real
the street
value.
bullshit.
It's
the...
unserious.
Right. I mean, like if you are
Is the
someone
most unserious.
like if you are someone as dumb as Tony Dokoupil, but you look like Tony Dokoupil, I mean, who's not like,
Yeah.
oh my God, the most gorgeous person. He's just like your standard like TV guy.
Yeah, he looks like a cartoon version of an anchorman.
Right.
And so you put him on there, and he's like,
you know,
okay,
like
looks
great.
right.
You've got you get to like you get to lead the CBS evening news. Like
Congrats, bud.
that should tell you everything you need to know about like the priorities of broadcast journalism.
Yes, and the questions they ask are some of the just.
Yeah.
It's tough sometimes.
Right.
It's tough sometimes.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm glad to finally be able to admit this. I think if you are a TV journalist, you should really take a hard look at yourself and see and think about what the harm you've done.
Yes. Quit your job. Once you have a
Quit your
better job
job.
to go to.
Anyway, speaking of media nightmares, it's like we're getting it from all sides this week. Washington Post, layoffs are imminent. They're at risk of losing apparently entire desks or significant cuts to their desks, including their foreign desk, their sports desk.
Sports.
They are imminent. Jeff Bezos has decided, you know what? I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of knowing what's happening in other parts of the world in my newspaper that I own. Let's shut it all down.
Time to liquidate this investment.
No, but for real. Ironically, in the same week, Amazon is pumping millions into their multi-million-dollar Melania documentary that apparently no one is seeing. More on that later, but how ironic that these two things are having. I guess not ironic at all. This is probably how they're fixing their balance sheet. Well, we could have, on one, a Melania documentary no one wants to see. On the other hand, we could have foreign reporting and sports reporting, including coverage of the Olympics, which are happening, checks notes, any minute now.
Right. Yeah. God,
Also-
the Olympics are in like what, 2 weeks probably?
Yeah. And like, there, stuff's kind of happening
Yeah.
in other parts of the world. Might be helpful to know. Might be helpful to have people on the ground there. Just an idea.
Big
Yes.
if true.
So weighing the two, they're like, you know what? We need this Melania doc.
It is very drill tweet of like my family is starving, and then he's got like what a massive candle budget.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
misquoting.
No, that's right.
10-year-old
That's right.
tweet.
Yeah. I mean, and the week of sort of like craven media leaders sort of pledging fealty to the Trump administration, how does Barry stack up against old Jeff?
What do you
I
think,
wonder if
Sam?
he even knows she exists.
He definitely knows she exists. Yes.
Yeah,
Them-
Trump has like, oh, she's very smart, a very
Yeah.
smart girl. I heard she's very brilliant. Like she's done one of those.
Yeah,
things.
no, well, Trump, I thought you were talking about Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, Sam.
Oh, I was talking about Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, no, they-
Oh,
they
he
absolutely
definitely does.
absolutely know each other. And
You
Bari Weiss has
know-
now met Trump directly.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
then there was that whole. Was this a video that somebody was like recounting, or it was a piece where they were like talking about how they like warmly greeted each other? I'm
Yes.
Like, ugh. The fuck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like they
Jesus
kiss. They
Christ.
kiss on the cheek.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah, because Barry was on the ground for Tony Dokoupil's interview with Trump, and they greeted each other with, Bezos.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
With the Bezos, con Bezos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
unfortunately,
Bezos
deeply
to
unfortunately.
Bezos. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I like struggle with this reaction because I know like the answer to this.
Yeah.
And this is something that we said to ourselves endlessly, like back in the Splinter days about our own bosses. but it's particularly like relevant in terms of Jeff Bezos. It's like you have more money than God.
God. Yeah. What is it to you?
Like the Washington Post is a money-losing operation. Like we all know this. If I was losing all that money, then I would say I should probably do something about it. Jeff Bezos can lose that kind of money, like, and not ever know that it happened if he so
Right, it's
chooses.
a rounding error.
Yeah.
Like, so that being the case, like, why did you buy this thing if all you want to do is drive it into the ground? He's not even trying to flip the Washington Post, although who knows, maybe that's his like ultimate goal.
Right.
But it's like you could afford to do anything you want with that thing. So like, why are you engineering its demise? It's always like so crazy to me, even though, as I say, like I know why. It's because he has actually contempt for like the work that these people do. And he doesn't want them writing bad things about his friend Donald Trump. But like he won't come out and say that. You know, he's like,
No.
oh, well, like we need to like change our business and we need to be profitable and like we need to like fix this and that, you know. And it's like, yeah, like obviously you have to like try to get the Washington Post to like the next level in terms of like responding to changes in audience behavior and like figuring out how
Blah,
to
blah,
like
blah.
be in the
Yeah.
21st century, all of that shit. But like, you know, a great way to do that, spend your like $9,000 billion to like do whatever it takes. And instead, of course, he's like, how about I just like slit the throat of the Washington Post instead?
Yeah.
It never fails to boggle my mind on like that basic level.
Yeah. But as ever, Jeff, if you want to throw us like a fraction of a percentage of your bag, we'll take it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We'll do Amazon Prime ads.
Yes.
Don't you worry.
Yes.
Like we're on it.
We promise you
just let us know.
won't even notice that the money's gone.
We're happy to receive a contract just as long as you're open to some redlining from our attorney. But
Yes.
I think we can come to terms on something that works great for both sides.
I am so willing to talk about Amazon Prime for the right amount of money. I love forcing like an underpaid like worker to break their back delivering me an inessential item in 24 hours from across the country.
Yes.
Nobody does it better.
Put that as a quote. We'll put it on the homepage.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
You know?
We will say Discourse blog brought to you by Amazon Prime.
This episode is sponsored by Amazon Prime. You want that deodorant tomorrow? All it costs is like an immigrant's bloody hands.
That's right.
Fishing it out of a cavernous, freezing warehouse that is destroying the ecology of the town it's built in.
Yes.
And it'll be there, babe, right on your front step.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Do we know how to pitch or do we know how to pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should pitch some cultural recommendations. Jack, what do you recommend this week?
Well, it's been a slow week culturally for me. I'm still recovering from the explosive end of The Traitors UK edition.
Okay.
Have I started watching prior seasons of The Traitors, even though I know what happens already? Yes, I have.
Had you not seen the previous UK
I saw
seasons?
I saw the last two before this one.
Oh, you haven't seen the first season.
I haven't seen the first season or the second season. I've seen the third and fourth and Celebrity seasons.
Okay. The first two are really good.
Yeah, I'm watching the one with Harry.
Okay, yes.
You know, so like I'm in you know that zone that you can sometimes get into where you're like I have to literally complete every single minute of
Oh,
this
yeah.
program. I mean,
Yeah.
Sam definitely knows
Yes.
that because she's watched
Or you'll
all
die.
because she's watched 57 seasons of the
Yeah, everybody
challenge.
remembers that part of my life.
And Survivor. I'm sort of in that zone right now.
Completion is
Okay,
terrifying.
you're locked in.
The only other thing I've like tuned into this week, I went to my Netflix to dutifully
Do your work. Do your
to
homework.
dutifully start or like continue to watch Frankenstein.
Oh,
Oh
right.
God, I'm glad you brought that. I'm
Which
so
like
glad you
which
brought
I'm
this up.
which
'cause
I'm
I
like
also tried
slogging
to.
my way through, bit by
It
bit.
is miserable. It is a
Yeah.
miserable movie.
Yeah.
I've been also trying to watch it this week to get caught up for the pod, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I'm like,
It is rough.
I'm like, I'm not actually interested in like exactly like the fake science that you're using to bring this like corpse to life.
Yeah.
But he really thinks that it's
Very
interesting.
detailed.
I know.
But yeah, so like I was like, okay, let me do this. But then I found myself instead the algorithm served to me quite improbably the movie Kneecap.
What's that?
Which is a like sort of fictionalized like biopic about the Irish hip hop trio that got into a ton of trouble last year because they are vocally pro-Palestine. Um,
Oh.
Okay.
and it's like a fictionalized like account of their rise. It is, I would not say that
Okay.
like I'm the first person you would think of when you talk about like, oh, who are Kneecap's biggest fans?
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'd obviously been aware of like them, and like I appreciate anyone who's gonna like literally get the British like terrorism police on their ass because they said like free Palestine at a concert. They hate the English, they're like from Northern Ireland. Sorry, not Ireland proper. They would say the north of Ireland because Northern Ireland is a whole different thing. So I found myself suddenly watching this like random movie and it was really enjoyable. It's like not that long. It was funny. It was like surprisingly moving in places. They're very entertaining and charismatic, and yeah, a surprising but enjoyable watch. So that's been my
Wow,
entire cultural consumption this week.
I love how you got there. So really, what you're saying is Frankenstein is so bad, it drove you to something good.
Yes, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and like I'd heard,
I had to stop. I had
yeah,
to stop an hour in.
yeah,
Oh my
Like
that's
I couldn't
that's
get
about
through
where I stopped too. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
finish it, but
I know it's gonna take
Reluctantly.
chunks. Like reluctantly, I might even say might be a more bitter pill to swallow than the brutalist.
whoa,
Oh.
That was a slog, baby.
okay, tune into the Oscars pod to find out
To
the
find out for sure.
definitive answer to that.
Sam, what do you recommend this week?
Yes, I recommend. I'm rewatching, sort of, but I'm not really quite sure how committed I am to this. But I started rewatching the 5th season of Broad City. Just felt
Okay.
like
Okay,
something that
that's
felt right to
Okay,
put
very-
the final
on.
season.
Very
Yeah, the
specific
final
season.
season.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I was just in a mood, and I think it's also when Broad City first came on, I was still in college. I was a sophomore. And so a lot of this like humor I found funny. I found the jokes funny, but there's a certain level of being in your early 30s and relating to the jokes it's just different than being like, oh
It's
haha,
resonating.
adulting. Yeah, the resonance is a lot, it's like a tuning fork all of a sudden. Real thwack in the face. The first episode of that season is like shot as if it was filmed through an Instagram story,
Oh,
which is so pleasurable. Yeah, it's Abby's 30th birthday. It's so funny. It really makes me miss, surprising, but makes me miss 2018, which is like, why would you ever miss 2018?
I
But
literally don't
compared to
know.
now, well, I mean, compared to, I think it's like the nostalgia of like, oh man, shit got way worse. It's not like you can look back and be
yeah.
like, well, it was really bad.
Yeah, it's bad when
And I don't miss that
2018
part.
is like,
Yeah.
you're like, wow, if
Yeah,
only we could go
Bomb
back to
year.
2018.
when 2018 are
Yeah.
the good old days,
Yeah.
it's bleak.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, I would definitely say I would rather go back to 2018 over 2016, only because then it's like I was hit over the head enough to, feel numb to the pain. But yeah, so Broad City, it's really I'm enjoying it even as a someone who I don't know, I'm like now have a different perspective on these funny jokes about being downtrodden and yet supposed to be like having it all at this age. So yeah, that is my cultural wreck. Also, Harry Styles' new single, Aperture. Anybody? Anybody?
No,
Oh.
he's not for me. I'm
Oh,
so
okay.
sorry.
I gave it a
It's
listen. I mean,
what he does is none of
yeah,
my business.
fair. Well, he's on like my periphery only because I have for okay, yeah, again, you have to and I hate to do this, but like I'm a woman of a certain generation in which everyone
One
else
Direction
around
was
me
everything.
exactly. And
Okay.
again, to bring it back, I was a junior in college when they split up. I had to break the news to my roommate's little sister who was in middle
Wow.
school at the time. Yeah,
Was that her
crazy.
second tower?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, sorry, Rebecca. That's the group of people that I hang with, is that they're all like, what are they called? I don't know. One Directioners,
If you say so.
Styles heads. I don't know what the Harry's heads. I don't know what the name of the
I
group
I
is.
don't know. That's
Um,
not my culture, and so it's not my
but
costume.
but I'm on the periphery enough to be like, oh, everybody's listening to the single. Like, let me listen to the single, and it's like fine. It's like bopping. Oh, also Hilary Duff. I was a huge Hilary Duff fan.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah, she's back. She's got an album, and she was touring in Europe, and I think she just played a concert in New York and did not come at all to Texas, which is rude because she's from Houston.
Okay, she's
Anyway,
on notice.
I like that
yeah.
all of your things, Sam, are like a backwards way of reminding us that you're significantly younger.
And that we're
Thank
old.
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I act as if I do it only incidentally, but I'm doing it all on purpose. So,
I know. I know that's what I'm calling out here.
Damn.
but yeah,
Real.
those are my cultural. I'd say my cultural nods. First one's a solid wreck. The last two are nods.
Okay.
Alex, what are yours?
My cultural wreck. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna double down on we gotta dump Wirecutter. The New York
Okay,
Times doesn't need
yes,
they
right.
don't need any more money. I support everyone who works there. In solidarity, one union. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
start picking cooler stuff, guys, and start subscribing to Consumer Reports. If they're bad in some way, keep it to yourself.
Oh,
I don't want to
and
know.
Consumer Reports, if you want to give us money,
Ah,
We're also interested.
if you want
you
You know what I
also
if
mean?
you want
have
to
our phone
recommend
number.
us,
Recommend us. Yeah, give us a high
Wow.
score. Listen, we're all open to it. So I would recommend that. Oh, I will recommend another podcast. We should be recommending more podcasts
wow.
Ah,
Okay.
as a podcast.
okay.
Spread the love, pay it forward,
Yeah, rising
that kind of
tide.
energy. Rising tides. I'm going to recommend the podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, which had a great episode last week. It's called Bandsplain, where the
Oh.
incredible host, Yossi Salik, goes through the entire discography of an artist or a band and talks about how it was made, the press at the time, the culture at the time. And had a really amazing episode last week about Portishead, a band I didn't know a ton about.
Oh.
I didn't know a lot about sort of the movement that they helped create in the world in which their music was created. These people are fucking nuts, man. They are like they're like, and on a technical level, they're like recording themselves onto their own vinyl and then sampling themselves in their music. Like it is
Whoa.
like savant shit. And
Moby
I
could
only would
never.
have learned this from this podcast. So, um, Yossi, if you ever hear this, I'm your biggest fan, and I would hope you would recommend us one day. Thank you for listening to Discourse Pod. If you stick around, if you're a paid subscriber, you will get the next few minutes where we're going to talk about the Melania doc and whether we plan to watch it. Spoiler alert, we might. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to see and or hear the rest of that, hop on over to the blog, discourseblog.com. If you're listening on the other apps, Figure it out.
Get it together.
Yeah, yeah, get it together.
Yeah.
Just kidding. If you're on Spotify, you can link your subscription account to the Substack. If you're on Apple Podcasts, hop on over to the blog. Everywhere else, ditto for everyone else. If you're on Spotify, Jack, thank you. Sam, thank you. We'll see you next week for a new episode.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.